DJ Pointman here. Join Char Willie and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow JustAskChar Advice Channel on Mixcloud and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded.
Hello, greetings. Hello, everyone. How are you? Happy Saturday to you. What is going on? It is nice and pleasant in the shy. Weather is pretty nice. We're not all bundled up with scarves and all of that. Most people are wearing their masks, so that's a good thing. Now, I'm having a little bit of issue with my computer. A little issue. It's slow and all that stuff, and I know I need to probably power it down, clear the cache and cookies, plus a lot of the articles for whatever reason, um, they do what they do, have all these commercials and stuff. They just don't want you to use them. They want you to read it. They want you to click on the ads, but that's it. That's all they doing. So we're going to work it. We're going to work the best we can. Okay. And without further ado, let's bring on the beautiful, the lovely, the classic Ruby, everybody. Let me give her a round of applause. Got it going today.
Why, thank you. It's so lovely to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, please have your seats. It's 2021. We don't have to be so formal anymore for as long. 5 seconds is enough, guys. Really, really. Anyway, how you doing this Saturday, Shar?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm not too shabby. Had some computer issues myself. Actually, so you got like the charger cable for your laptop, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, and my charger cable decided that it didn't need to work anymore. So, so I
Uh-oh.
was like, oh, that's great because I can totally share videos from my phone. Oh, I can't share my screen from my phone. This is wonderful. So God bless Mr. Ruby, y'all, because without him, I would be showing y'all nothing and would be trying to do double duty on Char's too slow computer today. And that just wouldn't work. So,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I got an issue with my cord too. I got it bent, twisted, and hoping that I don't move the wrong way. And yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And I was doing that. Trust me, I did that for so long, and I know it's my fault. I know it got to this place, and it's my fault. But what had happened was, um, after bending and doing that for so long, then the wires became exposed, and there's the two major wires, and then the plastic wrapping on them kind of rubbed off, and it became frayed, and I didn't realize that, and so the wires touched and burned out, and then yeah,
Ah.
dead charger. So, whoops, we'll be more responsible with my things. No, I won't. That's why Mr. Ruby bought me wireless headphones because I have to get new headphones like every month because if it's attached to a
Oh.
wire, I'm going to ruin it. That that's just what it is. I don't know.
Hmm. Okay.
I
Well,
know.
mine lasts a little longer than that, but it did. It just the poor thing. I don't know what to say, but all I need is one good week, and I'll have it replaced. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get
Yes.
through
I believe in us. It's 2021. We're like pros now. Man, we got this in the bag.
it. And also, I'll just tell everyone, please be patient. That's all I can ask.
Mhm.
Appreciate your patience and your time. You know how I am about time. I definitely appreciate yours and ask that you appreciate mine.
Yes, ma'am. Hallelujah. All right, we got this. So,
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and fumble first and see what happens.
perfect.
Because I have, the way I have it, I have a couple of screens for one story. And I'm like, how is this going to work? And I got a little upset. I'm like, it's going to be messed up. But, you know, again, just going to do my best. So that's what we're going to
Exactly. That's all you can do.
do. All right. Okay, here's the first story. Let's see what we got here. All right. We have lovely Karen here. Yes. Always a Karen up to something, isn't she?
Oh God.
White woman accused of falsely identifying herself as black colleague before committing hit and run.
Wow.
Now, I went on and read it, but I want to take the word accused out
Mhm.
and I'll reread it.
Perfect.
White woman falsely identifying herself as black colleague before committing hit and run. That's just how it is, you know. You can
Mm-hmm.
say what you want. It's always like that. I'm not accepting it. It is what it is. And then I got proof. I got proof. Let me
Right.
go ahead and read the story here. I'm gonna leave that Miss Karen right there. Whatever she wants to be, hit and run. She's black.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but we know the truth. We see the picture there.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
now, as soon as my computer allows me to bring up another window, I'll do that.
All right. All right.
Let's see what it's doing. It's blinking. Oh, emojis. Now, if I was trying to get some emojis, press the Windows plus period to use emojis on any app. Now, see, if I wanted that, it would have never came up. I didn't even ask for that.
Right?
For, Let me get these instructions because I ain't know nothing about that. Be honest
No,
with you.
I
I
know
ain't know.
exactly what you mean. It's been like that for me my whole life. When I'm not looking for it, it pops up, options there, it's great. When I'm looking for it, that option doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't.
Right.
Right?
It's unbelievable, but then again, it's not.
Mm.
All right, so the page is loading for me. Eventually, there I go. Okay. A white woman who is a Republican Board of Election member in Georgia has been accused, no, she hasn't, of being in a hit and run accident and then impersonating a fellow member of the Board of Elections who just happened to be a black woman. Uh huh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. This happens. Right.
According to the Savannah Business Journal, Chatham County Board of Elections member Debbie Ruers struck a Latina woman with a vehicle after falsely giving the woman the name of a fellow black member of the Board of Elections, Melinda Hodges. The incident took place at the Savannah Civic Center on June 5th, the day of Georgia's runoff election for its two Senate seats. Has been accused of hitting Christina Magnia with her car after identifying herself to Magnia as Hodges. Ruers then left the scene of the accident. Hmm. All right. So, I just don't get it when folks do not stand on their disrespect. If you want to do that, which is fine, you do that.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong. If that's what you want to do it. But don't run. See, now we're being cowardly. You stand on your disrespect. That's the only thing. Whatever you want to do, I encourage it.
Mhm.
It's just that you don't stand on your disrespect, and that's the problem. That is the problem. So
Right.
now I'm going to show you a little something else.
All right.
And it's going to get a little wild, but forgive me. I'm waiting till after the stream before I have my wine because I probably would just go off on this lady and this dude. And let me bring that up and I'll show you.
Ah, man.
All right. Did I do it right? I think I did it right. No, I didn't do it right because I didn't hit the audio, did I?
Audio.
I-
Mm. What happens? You get like you get a couple weeks, right? Couple weeks break, Char. Couple weeks break, and already you're flipping back into that new stuff where we ain't clicking boxes on like the worst day because your computer ain't acting right. Really?
I was just trying so hard to make sure I get the right window that I forgot the audio part.
Okay, okay. We'll give you one pass for 2021. This is it. You used it early, so go ahead.
Uh-oh. Okay, here we go.
Brower says she wanted to step down since December, but as WSAV News 3's Edward Moody tells us, it comes amid a police investigation into whether she struck an off duty poll worker with her car on Tuesday.
The letter Debbie Rowers emailed to fellow Chatham County Board of Elections members early Thursday morning makes no mention of the ongoing investigation into whether she struck a woman with her car Tuesday at the Savannah Civic Center.
And I think that if we have to, in some way, give the benefit of the doubt to Ms. Rowers in terms of understanding that the case is still under investigation.
Elections Board member Antoine Lang says since the incident, Rowers, a Republican, has received threats.
We cannot have elected officials being threatened, especially election officials at this time being threatened with the type of atmosphere that we're in politically, nor in the community.
According to the police report, a woman matching Rowers' description tried parking a dark blue sedan in a spot that another woman was saving for a food truck. It had been approved by the city. The report says the driver of the sedan got annoyed and identified herself as an election official. The women argued, and the alleged election official, quote, angrily jerked her car forward, bumping the other woman's leg. She was not injured. News 3 has reached out to Rowers, who has not responded, to clarify details of this incident, including whether she gave a false name during the incident, specifically that of fellow Elections Board member Melinda Hodge.
Regardless of whether she said Melinda or Linda, she still didn't tell the bystanders who she was personally, other than by stating she was a member of the Board of Elections.
In Savannah, Edward Moody, WSAV News 3 on your side.
In August of last year, Debbie Rowers was censured by the Board of Elections for harassing and intimidating a poll worker during the November 16 general election and a board employee during the November 19 election.
All right, so I'm going to interpret this again for you because we heard the way
A Republican member
it
of the
was
Chatham
presented, but I'm going to interpret it for you.
County
Interpret.
Board of Elections has resigned effective immediately. Debbie Rowers says she wanted to step down since December, but as WSAV News 3's Edward Moody tells us, it comes amid a police investigation into whether she struck an off-duty poll worker with her car on Tuesday.
Okay, so she had been thinking already that she wanted to just resign, right? She was thinking about it. But just all of a sudden, it's a miracle. After the fingers are pointed, you're in trouble again. You know what? I think I'm going to resign. So that's actually what I meant, y'all, just to let you know.
Debbie Rowers' email to fellow Chatham County Board of Elections members early Thursday morning makes no mention of the ongoing investigation into whether she struck a woman with her car Tuesday at the Savannah Civic Center.
And I think that we have to, in some way, give the benefit of the doubt to Ms. Rowers in terms of understanding that the case is still under investigation.
Elections Board.
All right. Giving the benefit of the doubt because the case is still pending? Are you kidding me?
Right.
Are you really kidding me? Okay. All right.
Since the incident, Rowers, a Republican, has received threats.
We cannot have elected officials being threatened, especially election officials at this time being threatened with the type of atmosphere that we're in politically, nor in the community.
According to the police.
All right. At this time, especially, at any time, no one should be threatened. So get it straight. But that's okay. He is practicing. He's looking forward to those butter biscuits he's been promised. Trust me. Okay? Just trust me. I'll give you a little bit more.
Report. A woman matching Rowers' description tried parking a dark blue sedan in a spot that another woman was saving for a food truck.
Okay. Benefit of the doubt. A woman fitting the description of this said police report, but yet we're supposed to give a benefit of the doubt. How you think he's gonna get a half a dozen butter biscuits or a dozen? I wonder what he was promised. I don't know, but I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit more now.
Okay.
It had been approved by the city. The report says the driver of the sedan got annoyed and identified herself as an election official. The women argued, and the alleged election official, quote, angrily jerked her car forward, bumping the other woman's leg. She was not injured.
Okay, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Wouldn't lie to you anyway, but The person is the driver, the one that has this car, that's pretending. Oh, I'm sorry. Benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Right. Anyway, she's described as a middle-aged woman with shoulder-length blonde hair.
Mhm.
Again, what is this benefit of the doubt you talking about, man? And I also want to point out, he has the same rank that she has, just a Board of Election member. That's it. Just wanted to say that.
News 3 has reached out to Rowers, who has not responded, to clarify details of this incident, including whether she gave a false name during the incident, specifically that of fellow elections board member Melinda Hutt.
Melinda doesn't look middle-aged.
Nope.
Melinda doesn't have long or shoulder-length blonde hair. Not at all.
Mm-mm.
So again, what is this benefit of the doubt, alleged, all this? But I think the next thing up is what really got me.
Regardless of whether she said Melinda or Linda, she still didn't tell the bystanders who she was personally, other than by stating she was a member of the Board of Elections.
So regardless, that's the key word for an excuse. So that's the beginning of an excuse right there.
Mhm.
Regardless, okay, regardless, whether she said her name was Melinda or Linda. So you're giving an excuse of saying either name that she gave, that shouldn't matter. The only thing mattered is she gave a description of who she was, a Board of Election member.
Mm.
Well, now I'm going to throw out your alleged, because now you're agreeing that this woman was involved in what happened. You butter biscuit eating person.
You know what though, Shar? I gotta call out one extra thing on that one.
Oh, go
Right?
ahead, girl.
I can't even hold this one until the end.
Let
This
it go.
egregious, okay? Because let's stop lying like she identified herself by one name. She either said Melinda or Linda, and maybe the person was confused. She said her first and last name. First and last name. So unless you're trying to tell me, right, that they have the exact same last name that also is just a couple letters off, bull, obviously they don't, then no, there's no confusion as to who she identified herself as. Stop it. Because you said she misidentified, or allegedly, or some person matching her description misidentified themselves, right, as Melinda. But you didn't say Melinda. What's the woman's last name? Melinda Hodge or Hughes? I can't remember.
I forgot right now.
You said first name, last name. That's the first thing he said. Misidentified herself as Melinda and then said her last name. That means that this report says that this woman identified herself by first and last name. So no, she went out of her way. She calls out this black, not who happens to be black board member, this black board member out, put her name first and last, probably repeated it multiple times so that way it would be remembered later for the reports, right? And then
Right.
what she was doing. Stop trying to now backtrack and be like, well, Melinda versus Linda. I mean, they're easily confused. She did properly identify herself, if it was even her. Come on. Stop it. Just stop. Okay. I'm good.
Yeah, he's trying to earn a dozen. I think he thought he was gonna get half a dozen. I think he's looking for a dozen. I think so.
Baker's dozen, right? 13.
Yeah, Baker's dozen. Oh yeah. That's it.
WSAV News 3 on your side.
In August of last year, Debbie Rowers was censured by the Board of Elections for harassing and intimidating a poll worker during the November 16 general election and a board employee during the November 19 election.
And she got a history of having issues. So what you got to say about that, Biscuit?
Oh, what I got to say about that is let's go back to what he said at the beginning, where he said she was already considering retiring back in December. Oh, I know what that's code for. That's code for after her last two extreme outbursts at the end of November, they were telling her she better tender her resignation or she's gonna get fired. So she already knew her days were numbered. When this happened, at this point, they were like, you don't have a few months to clean up your affairs and blah, blah, blah. You need to get the hell out right now. Vote. I was wondering around the end of the year. No, you weren't. We know why you were wondering now, because of November 16th and 19th. This is days apart. You can't control yourself. Okay. So, like, come on. Stop. This is embarrassing. Come on now.
Terrible. Just ridiculous. Where's her regular spokesperson? That's what I want to know. Got him up there. But okay. That's all right. It's okay. Right? I called you out.
It needed to be done. Let's be honest. Like, come on. You know, the thing is, right, just like what we were saying about the Capitol, right, is if that was a whole pack, not even half the amount of white people showing, if that was a whole pack of us showing up at the Capitol, not even armed, at least 20% of us would be dead. Let's be real, right?
Yeah.
We got to stop giving these passes. I don't understand why it keeps being justified by the media over and over and over again. They keep doing this and then acting like they're not doing it, right? She ain't even young, and she still gets to be America's little sweet, innocent princess, right? Come on. Enough. I'm over it.
Right. Too much.
Well, speaking of the Capitol, I was going to do another story first, but then I mentioned the Capitol, and this is definitely one of my stories. So we're going to do this one first.
Okay.
So now there's a few things that we're going to kind of see in succession. And, we'll talk about them as we're going here. And so, yes, this is all connected to what happened at the Capitol and the resulting deaths, multiple. A lot of y'all have only heard about that first lady who got shot because she got too close to the wrong door, basically. But a lot of y'all did not hear about the rest of the deaths, first of all. And I want to then talk to y'all about something that happened to a social media platform as a result. So let us first take a look at, oh wait, no, that's not the right one. Oh, see, I'm doing the same thing you did there. Am I opening the right window? Or no, that doesn't look like the right window. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is the right window. So let's check this out first. Now, we all know that, of course, Team Gray regime, amongst many other people, have been covering this, shout out to DJ Music. I think he's the first one that I actually was able to hear some of this stuff, and I backtrack and listen. But this is just going to be basically a quick accounting and rundown, first off, okay, of all of the deaths and the injuries. So let's just take a quick listen to that.
6 p.m., protesters breached fencing along the Capitol grounds and confronted police lines surrounding the building. Multiple individuals forced entry into the Capitol building and attempted to gain access to the House room, which was still in session. They were confronted by plainclothes U.S. Capitol police officers, at which time one Capitol police officer discharged their service weapon, striking an adult female. She was transferred.
Okay, and so that's the one most of y'all are aware of and you recognize. Now, for those people who are telling this story, like, oh, well, they just gently, calmly, rationally walked in, and, of course it was accepted because, they paler in complexion, so they were just invited in with open arms. No, they were not. They stormed the Capitol, okay? They were sitting there trying to break in through doors and windows and entryways they weren't allowed to be in. And that woman went somewhere. She was specifically told when they got in there, you can't go over there. But she decided she was going to go try to find someone important to go rant at. And it didn't work out well for her. But to be clear, no one invited them in with open arms. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay.
Reported to a local hospital where, after all life-saving efforts failed, she was pronounced deceased. Additionally, there were 3 other deaths reported today from the area around the Capitol grounds. 1 adult female and 2 adult males appear to have suffered from separate medical emergencies, which resulted in their deaths. You should also be aware that at least 14 MPD officers have sustained injuries during the demonstrations. 1 member suffered serious injuries after he was pulled into a crowd and assaulted. He is currently hospitalized and undergoing testing for treatment for his injuries. 1 officer received significant facial injuries from being struck by a projectile and is also hospitalized. Additionally, 2 pipe bombs have been recovered. 1 pipe bomb from the DNC, another pipe bomb from the RNC, a cooler from a vehicle with a long gun in it that also included Molotov cocktails. This also was on the grounds of the United States Capitol.
And now I want to clarify a number here because I know the number. The number is 8 Molotov cocktails. 8, okay? 2 pipe bombs, 8 Molotov cocktails, okay? Plus, we saw everybody was armed at least with 1, if not multiple firearms, okay? So anyone who's trying to claim that they went up in there to be peacefully protesting, to do things the right way, not like Antifa and all the stuff that they like to say, that is straight BS. Straight BS. And they proved it because what do you need bombs for? What do you need fire bombs for? Unless you are literally there to not just cause a little bit of a scene, not just to get a little bit of a message out there and whatnot and whatever. No. They wanted to wreak havoc and damage. Okay? They wanted people to get hurt. But now, here's where they done really messed up. This is how they messed up. This is how they lost their own battle. Okay? First of all, they lost their own battle. They shut themselves down. They lost the support publicly of Trump. Yeah. And on top of that, they made sure that whereas in before we were all pretty sure none of them were going to really get in trouble for anything, that now they're getting in trouble because they messed up. Remember, we were talking about that police officer they just mentioned who ended up being brought to the hospital with serious injuries? Whoops. That police officer didn't make it. Oops.
Ooh.
So now we're going to talk about the fallout for them. And then I'm going to pull up an article about social media platform and the fallout for them. And that is because, again, see, y'all want to try to give these people some type of credit like they're on some honorable mission or whatever. They're not. And you know what? They showed their face. They showed their hand. Luckily, they showed it too early and not enough in mass. And so luckily, a lot of people didn't die or get injured the way that they had been planning, because they really were planning on starting a civil war. They really were. But now they have officially messed themselves up and shut themselves down. Let's take a listen to this.
Okay.
A U.S. Capitol Police officer died from injuries he suffered when a mob of President Trump's supporters stormed the Capitol. 42-year-old Brian Sicknick is now the 5th death connected to Wednesday's violence. The fallout for President Trump continues. The list of resignations is growing amongst his administration, with Education Secretary Betsy DeVos being the latest to resign. Calls are growing for serious action against the president. Lawmakers want Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment, which would remove Trump from office. It appears President Trump is finally accepting his election loss while also condemning rather than praising the rioters that went on the Capitol rampage. ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington with the new developments overnight.
This morning, outrage as more details come to light about the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. Investigators finding 5 guns, including a military-style assault rifle, 2 pipe bombs, and 11 Molotov cocktails. And the human toll, more than 50 police officers hurt during the clashes with a violent pro-Trump mob. And Wednesday evening, 42-year-old police officer Brian Sicknick succumbing to injuries sustained in the battle. That making 5 deaths now linked to the insurrection on America's symbol of democracy.
To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
And a new video.
Ain't that amazing?
I'm sorry.
Blow your mind. Wait, hold on. Wait. Did I hear that correctly? For the first time in 4 years, did Trump slap down the right conservatives and, more importantly, the Trump-tards? What?
He was just playing. He was just playing.
I mean, from the way he just said that, you would swear to God that Trump had nothing to do with this. Nothing, right?
Uh-huh.
For those of y'all who missed it, let's keep watching a little and see if Trump had anything to do with the beginning of all of this foolishness. Let's just take a look. Besides, of course, all of the foolishness he's been doing. Let's look.
Video, President Trump condemning the same angry mob he riled up with repeated false claims about a stolen election.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol. Never take back our country with weakness.
And by
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Did he not just say we're going to walk down to the Capitol? We are never going to be able to take back our country with weakness? Hold on. Doesn't that sound like he told them in slightly coded language, but only really slightly coded language, that they should do exactly what they did to a country of which he is currently president? That's what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah, I did hear that too.
The flip is incredible. That's why I said they lost him the battle. When that police officer died, they lost him that battle. He's now all of a sudden he's conceding. He's done fighting now. Now he's sitting there and publicly saying, "You aren't even Americans. You guys are trash. You disgust me." Right? Like, he's done with them. He's separating himself, because at this point he understands that after that cop died, after all of these injuries and all this craziness, that there's no way they're going to give him the presidency. No way are they going to reward this behavior. So he realizes he's gone a step too far. He now can't even tweet anymore. If y'all didn't hear about that, Trump got banned. That's not the platform we're going to talk about today. Oh no. Trump got banned. So all he can do now is hope to God he can save his place in the business and, rich people circles and stuff. So that way, when they want to come to him with the full force of the law for his other crimes, alleged, that he'll still have some friends, right? Because as I've been telling these people for 4 years, Trump don't care about y'all. He never did. And he doesn't care about the country. Trump cares about Trump. This was all about saving Trump. And y'all ensured that this is not the way that's going to save him. So now he's going to leave you to burn. So let's hear how y'all are going to burn. Just a little bit. Let's hear about that. Okay.
Addition, as he did yesterday, he must be removed from office. While it's only 13 days left, any day can be a horror show.
Democrats calling for impeachment while also looking to Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment. ABC sources say Republicans are also privately discussing the option. But Thursday, the president finally accepting his election loss.
My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power.
And now, with just 12 days till President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration, a 7-foot fence going up around the Capitol, and questions about police conduct. Videos appearing to show some officers moving barricades for demonstrators. And officers have arrested more than 80 people so far, but the Capitol Hill police chief now resigning because of the botched response. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
So y'all hear that? Okay. So now, to be clear, right? Charges in, oh gosh, I can't even remember how many it was now. But I think 50 people have been charged so far. And I'm talking about like real charges. These are not slap on the wrist charges that they're charging people with. Okay. They are really charging people now, right? They're done. They are done playing this game with the Trump tards. They're not doing it. Trump sees the writing on the wall, so he's like, I'm just shifting to a seamless transition. I just really want us to be a seamless and peaceful transition from me to. Since when? Since when? Right? For those of y'all that's listening to music and Char, right? On the beat on Wednesday, we just listened to the call where he was sitting there basically in his coded, not so coded language, telling them to overturn the election in Georgia. But now he really wants peace and for peaceful transition. Bull. Okay. Now, okay, listen, the next thing we're going to talk about, y'all, this is going to apply to some of y'all who like to talk about this in regards to our words, right? So when we get frustrated with platforms like YouTube or Facebook or whatever, because we're like, you're basically banning our free speech, right? You're limiting what we can say. And we feel like it's the platform. The platform is coming for us. They're gunning for us. They're shutting us up. That's not fair to us. But see, what people fail to realize is it's not about what the platform believes. It's not. They don't care. I promise you, they don't care. They all start off the same way, where they want to give all of their users the freedom to say what they want to say, how they want to say it. But here's the thing. First of all, you have to understand these are private companies. Okay, this company, for example, Parler, right, or Parlay, depending on how you want to pronounce it. This is a private company. It is actually responsible for things that happen on these servers. So, for example, if a giant insurrection against the U.S. Capitol, whereby a police officer dies, many more are injured, and bombs and Molotov cocktails and so on and so forth are all brought into the Capitol, people start having an issue. And so they start trying to figure out, well, how the hell did all these people who don't know each other communicate and create these plans? Wow. Parler is where they communicated and created all these plans. Now, this is one of those platforms, free speech. It has very hands-off. It lets you say whatever you want, whenever you want. Well, Google, as a company, does not. Strangely, I know you would think, well, it's Google. No, you can't just say whatever you want. And so Google Play has pulled their app into, there's no access whatsoever until they beef up their moderation and basically silencing policies. No, y'all can't allow this to happen, and we're still going to keep allowing your app to have circulation or support, period. Apple is soon to follow. They've given them basically 24 hours to come up with a radical, like probably going to be more limiting than Facebook moderation schedule and whatnot, in order, otherwise they're going to lose it. On top of that, Amazon is now petitioning itself to shut them down, Parler. Okay, so yes, exactly. Now I'm going to read you Google's full statement here. Okay, they said, in order to protect user safety on Google Play, our long-standing policies require that apps displaying user-generated content have moderation policies and enforcement that removes egregious content like posts that incite violence. All developers agree to these terms, and we have reminded Parler of these clear policy in recent months. Basically, what they're saying is, my bad, we screwed up. We slapped them on the wrist about this when it was brought to our attention, but we honestly thought, it's probably just harmless talk. So, we're not going to push them too much on it. But what happened? When they decided to be lenient, what happened? What was it used for? Oops, now blowback is coming on the platform, and more importantly, those who disseminate the platform like Google Play and the other app stores. All right. So we're aware of continued posting in the Parler app that seeks to incite ongoing violence in the US. We recognize that there can be reasonable debate about content policies and that it can be difficult for apps to immediately remove all violative content. for us to distribute an app through Google Play, we do require that apps implement robust moderation for egregious content. In light of this ongoing and urgent public safety threat, we are suspending the app's listing from the Play Store until it addresses these issues. I hope y'all heard forever, because that's really what it is, right? And they're not letting this app come back. It's gonna die a slow death. I want y'all to see now, because I told you before that Amazon has petitioned itself as well. Right here, there you go. Amazon employees for climate justice. Enough is enough. Amazon hosts Parler on AWS Cloud. As Amazon workers, we demand Amazon deny Parler services until it removes posts inciting violence, including at the presidential inauguration. We cannot be complicit in more bloodshed and violent attacks on our democracy. That means they have been going in there and scouting. Okay? They've been going in there and they've been scouting, and they've seen that this app, after all of this insanity, has been talking about more violence, more, not just protests, violence, more bombs, more whatever at the presidential inauguration.
Wow.
And they don't even want to work for a company that would allow an app that would allow such a thing, right? Now, currently, this app, right, the makers of Parler are not going to bow, right? That's what they always say at first. We're not going to bow. You can't shut us up, right? But here's the thing. Either the app is going to die, or they're going to follow through and they're going to cave. I mean, they're saying they won't, right? We will not cave to pressure from anti-competitive actors. We will and have always enforced our rules against violence and illegal activity. Apparently not. Anyway, but we won't cave to politically motivated companies and those authoritarians who hate free speech. Of course, this is only for far right like channels and beliefs, right? Like they're not supporting any far left. It's far right, and anything that's far right leaning, so KKK, stuff like that. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, see, this is what y'all need to understand, is these companies don't want to go out of business. They want to give you as much rope as they can. But in essence, this is what happens, right? This is why, right? This is why the YouTube adpocalypse happened, right? It's not because YouTube wanted to shut people up, because if they did, then they would have shut everyone up to begin with. It's because some woman or man, I think it was a woman though, mothers or something, had an issue with Kellogg's or whatever cereal ad being played on, some video that said some terrible stuff. They had an issue with that. They didn't want their kid eating that kind of cereal, knowing that that ad was playing. This is really what happened. And so then ultimately they did a boycott, and they said, well, we're not buying any of that company's products. And you talk with your money, you vote with your money. That's what it is. They voted with their feet. And so then the ad company said, well, we're pulling out of YouTube, right? And then they did. And so YouTube was left with a choice. All their major people had already left, and either they could keep the ad companies that they had and try to woo back the other ones by changing their policies, or the company was going to go underwater. It was going to get shut down. It's the same thing with Facebook. It's the same thing with all of these platforms. That's what it comes down to. Like, let's stop acting like these things are in a bubble. It doesn't matter what you believe. That's why all of these companies that are like free speech, you can say whatever you want about women and how much we hate them all you want. At the beginning, that's how they start. To start cracking down. They're already cracking down, all those free speech ones for the left and for man groups. They're starting to crack down. This is why. Because they don't want to be tied to something terrible. Because when some guy goes on a rampage in a black BMW and he was a heavy poster on that site, guess what? They get blamed. That's what it is. So anyone, even Trump doesn't want to be associated with the Trump rallies. Like,
yeah, they this is what they were saying going to happen to Trump.
Come on! You think I'm playing games, man? Hey, I'm talking to somebody else. Hey!
Yeah, so they talking about that as of now. You'll see it on Twitter and different places. They want to kick him out of there. He's covering his tracks pretty well, but that's what they want to do.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. He's leaving. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't leaving till they did this. Now he's leaving. He gave up for y'all. He ain't coming back. So good job, guys.
All right. So let's see if I have success with the next one. I'm gonna hope. That's all I can say.
Fingers crossed.
Because I had just checked the darn thing and the picture was gone. I'm like, oh Lord. I refreshed the screen and yay, it's there. All right. You see this beautiful woman, she's happy. This is the first of the year. What do you think she's saying? It's a beautiful world. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm so happy to be alive. So that's what I thought, because the picture is worth 1,000 words, right? Yeah. Well, sometimes those words can be an N-word. New Jersey Karen caught on video calling black woman the N-word. Say it ain't so. Please say it ain't so. Yeah, let's see what we got here.
Oh boy.
You don't like me? Call the cops. And she following me all the way from 17th Street. Call the cops, you black bitch. Call them. This is sad.
Wow.
I never did anything to you. You're not fucking doing nothing that way. Never did anything to you.
I like him. And I'm going to use that. I am going to use that. I get somebody to troll. I ain't say nothing. I'm like, well, go say it over there. Click. I like him.
Me too.
I ain't doing anything. Go do it over there.
Wow.
Isn't that something? First of the year, I'm thinking lady all happy and everything going down the street just merrily on her way. No. Just couldn't do that.
Wow. That was egregious. That was real. Listen, I'm not saying that I feel like Karens are not egregious, just in general with their actions. This is why they have their own subsection, right? There's Becky, but that wasn't good enough. Like, we had to name them because they're egregious. Fine. But
yes.
Wow. Like, that was blatant. Black B, the N-word, like, she kept going. And she knew she was on camera and she was happy. She was proud of herself. Like,
yeah, I thought I'm like, she going down the street going, Happy New Year. I'm like, okay. That's not what this is. Okay. Karen just won't stop, will she? She just won't.
Damn.
I don't know what to say.
What do you say to that?
Yeah, I just don't know what to say. Woman just minding her business, and this is what you get.
Right.
First of the year, I thought it was gonna be all right, but no.
No, that's not the way it works. I told y'all.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the famous Karen everyone is talking about. Let me see. Now, this is what may be a little tricky because I'm trying to do it in order because I want to show that there's been a couple of things that had happened. I saw one thing and didn't know how it had escalated. And I am going to try. Let's see what I'm going to do here. Let's go with, oh boy, I don't even see I don't see, oh, you got to scroll a little bit. Okay, my bad. All right. All right, so everyone knows about the SoHo I do sound like an insult, but that is what they call her, the SoHo Karen. And this is the one, and I know allegedly and accused and all that. No, she did it.
Mm. I gotta see this one. I haven't seen it yet. I gotta be real. I haven't seen it yet. I heard about it. I haven't seen it. I gotta be honest. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Yep, that's right. Hey, it's the first show of 2021.
Now
Not
that's
about us.
that's the video I seen. Now what they're about to show now in the hotel, I didn't see this part. And so
did you play a video?
I'm about to play it now. Oh, I did. Did you see it or no? It didn't come up.
No video.
Oh Lord, browser cannot access. Try capturing a different. Oh wait. Okay.
It's like playing a video.
Yeah, I just clicked back in StreamYard. So let's see. Let me go back. Oh, I don't know what happened. Let me try it again. My bad. I'm having conversations with myself. Let's try it again, y'all. Looking for the word people. Okay, it was at the top. Let's try it again. Okay. Okay, I see at the top on my side it says sharing. So let me peep. Okay, I do see it now. Okay, we got it now. I got it now.
Yes, okay. Hallelujah. Okay, let's do it. Okay.
All right, so now let me rewind it back. So this is SoHo. And again, I know that sounds like an insult, but that's what they call it, y'all.
A woman caught on camera physically attacking a black teenager and falsely accusing him of stealing her cell phone has been arrested in California. It happened last night. You might remember this video. Mia Ponsetto approached 14-year-old Keon Harold Jr. at a New York City hotel last month, accusing him of stealing her phone. His father, jazz musician Keon Harold, recorded the encounter and accused Ponsetto of racial profiling.
We have what you see two black people.
No, I'm not letting him walk away with my phone.
Now, the video shows Ponsetto trying to stop the teenager from leaving the hotel lobby and then rushing toward them. Hotel surveillance video shows the 22-year-old.
Okay, that is what I originally saw. That's the only thing I saw when this first came out a week or so ago.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. I'm like, dang. But what I'm going to play now is more of the footage from the hotel. I did not know this or see this. So where I have it captured is the woman has her arms wrapped around the 14-year-old. So if you could see it right there, that's what's going on. So I'm about to unpause it here.
Woman tackling Keon Jr. Now, he never had the phone. It turned up several minutes later at the hotel. New York City detectives went to California yesterday to coordinate Ponsetto's arrest in connection with the confrontation. She was contacted at a traffic stop in Ventura County near Los Angeles. Officials say that police had to pull her out of the car when she refused to get out. Now, in an exclusive interview, we had just done that interview yesterday afternoon. Her lawyer spoke with us before she was arrested. They told us that NYPD had not yet contacted them.
Now, what bothers me about that, this woman, which I cannot find it, I had it and it just disappeared. They actually had wanted. They had a picture of her saying that she was wanted. And so now the woman was found, got an attorney and all that, and got an interview with Gayle King, which means there was some money involved. So you're going to pay the criminal to have an interview with the criminal. Okay, I know that's the business. I know that's how it goes. It still bothers me. I have the right to say that. But that's what happened. The woman was wrong. Ain't no allegedly she did that. It's on film. I see it. You see it. Everyone sees it. But that's what she ended up doing. I didn't know she was 22. I thought maybe she was older, but okay. So this chick got an interview. Let's see if it plays the interview.
Mia, help me understand. What made you think that Keon had your phone? That's why I'm confused. Why did you think he had it?
I was approaching the people that had been exiting the hotel because in my mind, anybody exiting is probably the one that might be the one that is trying to steal my phone. I admit, yes, I could have approached the situation differently or maybe not yelled at him like that and made him feel, maybe some sort of inferior way, making him feel as if I was like hurting his feelings, because that's not my intention. I consider myself to be super sweet. I really never ever meant for it to like hurt him or his father either.
Are you saying that you were stopping everybody in the lobby asking them about your phone? Is that what you're saying?
Not everyone, just the people that in the meantime, while the hotel manager was checking the footage, I just wanted to do my part as best as I could.
Lady, why don't we see the film? I wish they had it, where the people that you did decide had your phone. That's what I want to see. That's why I want to see the people that you did your part. I want to see those people that you stopped.
Right.
Well, I mean, what I'm looking at, you chose one person. It's like, no, this is the one right here. Tackle, tackle, tackle.
Right. Well, I think here, since apparently I sound very white, probably because I was born and raised around a lot of white people, I can translate, and I'm going by commentary in the chat. Y'all who have been living with the chat today, y'all know who I'm referring to. Anyway,
all right.
Now with that being said, it's a riot down there. Anyway, so I'm going to translate ignorant white girl for you. So when she says, not everyone, right? What she means is, well, of course, I didn't accuse everyone or ask everyone if they stole my phone. Only the black faces, right? That's what she was saying, right? Like, of course, don't be stupid. White people don't steal. I was only asking the black ones, right? That's really what she meant by that. But she can't say that, right? And he was the black one who was nearby. And so she went, oh, black face near me must have stolen my phone. Because she really believes that. She's one of those people who thinks for real that, first of all, our children are grown men. He's a 14-year-old boy who's a grown man. And second of all, she thinks, because otherwise she would not have dared to jump on a child, because he's a child. Now, if I don't hear people protesting about this woman getting the full extent of the law smashed into her face over assaulting our children, he's a child. I don't care how tall he is. I don't care how old he is. He's a 14-year-old boy who had a grown woman attack him for nothing because he didn't do anything over her being irresponsible with her property and her being racist and deciding that the black man to her, right, because all of our children are men, the black man stole her phone. Must have been the black face. No, it should be hate crimes. It should be those because I can't remember what they call it. It's like aggravated assault when it's assault against a child. Aggravated assault. It should book smashed in her face. I want to see her in prison for a decade minimum. I'm serious. That's disgusting.
And as of right now, the father is going to go all the way. I'm hoping that's what I heard him interview with them. I'm hoping that's what he does. He's not going to cower out or get paid or whatever. Go all the way. The young man is also dealing with some things, and I definitely understand that. I hope I have that video, because like I said, I had some issues. I hope I have it. I'm kind of looking for it. I'm going to play what I do have. Hopefully this is it. And that's all I could do is say hopefully. But
I got my fingers crossed, girl.
yeah, because I really want that part of it. I'm hoping I have it. Let's see. Because I would really like to hear the dad. Oh no, this was silent. because I just happened to see this. I didn't know. Like I said, this chick went all the way. Okay, I did find. Okay, this is what I wanted to find right here. When I said that she was wanted and that she's found, but she's out there doing interviews, and that ticked me off. I'm like, wait a minute, where they do that at?
Right.
And they just played this over and over again so you can look for it. And they point and said, that's what we looking for. I mean, she just tackling. You ain't going nowhere. Now, I don't have the audio. I couldn't find the footage, rather, for the one where she actually was saying, that's him, take the case off. Because the father said, hey, there's lots of iPhones. You're just going to pick someone black. Well, take the case off. So I wanted to play that because I want to say, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm walking down the street. If I did steal your phone, what's the chance I'm gonna have a case for it? That's what I want to know. And I got to take it off to prove to you because it's gonna look like the next phone with the darn case off.
Right. Like,
I'm like, this lady is psycho, and I just wanted to break all that down, but you know, the article just kind of disappeared. Yeah, in midair. For whatever reason. I'm going to try to play the rest of Gail in bits and pieces because I don't know how YouTube feels about that. You know, they feel some kind of way. They like, oh, we don't need you to point these things out. It's still an investigation.
We pointed out way too much stuff already. I already know they don't like this episode. I know it.
Very
right.
It doesn't seem like it's someone who's super sweet.
How would you feel if you were alone in New York and you're going to spend time with your family during the holidays and you lose the one thing that gets stolen from you that has all of the access to the only way that you're able to get back home?
I just don't think I would randomly attack people is what I'm saying to you. I know you said you could have handled it better, but I just don't think I would randomly attack people in the manner in which you did. What do you think when you look at that video? You're standing there in your leggings and your flip-flops, and it looks like you're just going nuts, for lack of a better word.
No, I'm not letting him walk away with my phone.
I don't feel that is who I am as a person. I don't feel like this one mistake does define me, but I do sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, apologize that if I made the son feel as if I assaulted him, or if I hurt his feelings or the father's feelings.
I don't believe one.
Okay, could you go ahead and interpret? Because, I don't believe anything this woman is saying. Go ahead and interpret, Ruby. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, this is what it comes down to, right? So, I mean, everyone is upset and frustrated when they lose something of their own, right? I mean, come on. Our phones are basically like an extension of our arms these days. It's very upsetting when you just forget it at home, but you know where it is. So, fine. She was upset. But what she's really saying, right, using my translator here, is I was out of my mind with rage and disgust and insult that a black person thought they could steal property that belongs to me. How dare you even touch something that belongs to me? That's really what she was saying right there. Okay. Because let's be real. Every single one of those apps that you have on your phone, you can go and log on to it on the internet, on anyone else's phone, on what? You could do that. Let's be real. What, did she take an Uber? So it had to be connected to her cell phone? No, she's full of it. She was just like, how dare this black boy, and it had to be the black boy, of course, steal, touch, think he has the right to touch something that belongs to me. Don't you see me? I ain't black. That's it.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Go ahead and play a little bit more. Let me see what we can do here. I'm gonna try. Let's see. Where's my window? Right there. Okay.
One mistake defines anybody, but I think when I look at that particular video, you did more than just accuse him. The video seems to show that you physically attacked this young boy. You do see that too, right?
But at the end of the day, the dad did end up slamming me to the ground and pulling my hair and throwing me and dragging me across the ground. So I will say that.
What does that mean?
Ooh, she's slick. She's slick. Now, first of all, right? So she says the word dad. And if you notice, on her visor, it says daddy, right? She's a daddy's girl. She's used to being protected and sweet. And how dare you roughhouse her and manhandle her in such a way? A black man roughhoused with a daddy's girl in America. That's repulsive in and of itself, right? So basically what she's saying is, well, come on, little old daddy's girl me? Sure, I might have tried to stop a kid from stealing my phone, but a grown man slammed me to the ground. Like, a grown man touched one of your innocent little princesses, guys. Aren't you disgusted by that? Who cares why?
Oh.
You're so disgusted by that? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what that meant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll try a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah, but I think, the video we saw, it looked like you had just attacked his son.
Yeah, the footage shows me attacking his son. Of attacking him how? Yelling at him? Yes. Okay, I apologize. Can we move on?
I know you're saying I don't need to, I just want to apologize, but I do think that there should be some context to your actions that day.
Okay, so basically I'm a 22-year-old girl. Racism is, how is one girl accusing a guy about a phone a crime? Where is the context in that?
Mia.
That's the wrong answer, girlfriend. You went all off the rails and you gonna get it. I see why your lawyer tapped you up on the table and say, cut! Because you're gonna end up under the jail. I ain't gonna be able to help you, sister.
Right? And she was sitting there trying to remember all the code wording she was taught. Right? How was one girl, right? And she was gonna say boy. But at the very least, that would put her and this child right on the same level. No. She had to change it in everyone's mind. So she's the girl and he's the guy. That makes him older, bigger, stronger. She's just a girl. And I mean, come on. I mean, I'm just a girl and it had nothing to do with racism. I mean, this guy, stole my phone and I'm just a girl. I couldn't even do any damage even if I wanted to. So because I'm just a girl.
They call you SoHo. They call you SoHo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying they call you SoHo.
What is the deeper
Mia,
story here?
That's not the problem. You have to at least understand your actions that day. You seem to have attacked this little boy, this young boy, this teenager. You seem to have attacked this teenager about the phone. And then it turned out he didn't even have your phone. That's the thing. I mean, you're saying, look, I'm 22 years old. You're 22 years old, but you are old enough to know better. So I will say you're 22. I get it.
Enough. The hotel did have my phone. The hotel did end up having my phone. I did get my belongings returned to me.
And that was the end of the interview. At the end of the day, I mean, that was perfect. You could tell she was coasted with what she needed to say. She was coached very well because there's no way she would sound like that on her own. She would have went off. She wouldn't have known anything to say to even make sense of that at all. But she sounds like a attorney. She does.
Yep.
Looks like she's defending her own darn self.
Yeah, she's got those big old glasses, right? So that makes her even like she's a nerd. Nerds can't fight. Nerds can't hurt you. Like everything is so contrived.
Yes.
Every little aspect is so contrived. It's gross. Like, come on.
It is. It really is. Wow. Wow. I had such a good time with that. You go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had a great old time.
Oh,
Please forgive me.
I'm very happy we did. Very happy. I feel good in my soul over that Karen story and the way we covered it. Yeah. All right. Well, and we don't do too much Rona coverage over here. But I do like to call out foolishness when I see it. So now with that being said, I'm going to talk a little bit here. I think first what we're going to do is okay. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about because somehow I closed the other window, so I'm going to get it back while we listen to this first part. Which is this. I don't know if those of y'all are aware. I know most people know that there's at least one corona variant that they found in minks and have had to kill tens of millions of minks in several countries, including the US. Then we found the coronavirus variant first in British people, definitely found it in Canada. By the time we got to Canada, that was 40 countries. It's been found now in the United States, right? So there are definite questions about the variant, first of all, as far as how does it affect health. But more importantly, here's the thing, right? We're all aware that they've been rolling out this coronavirus vaccine, okay? And the terrible side effects it's been having, but it's supposed to be all for the greater good. But does it even matter anymore with this new variant that's going around? Is it going to help us? So let's take a listen first and listen about this coronavirus variant and the effects that are going to be going on with the vaccine as a result. So, all right.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The rapid spread of a new variant of coronavirus has prompted urgent new tests into the effectiveness of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, the only one in use in Canada so far. Alarm bells are ringing as cases of the new strain surge in parts of southern England. Cindy Palm joins me now from London with the latest on this story. Good morning, Cindy. Concern over this rapid spread of this variant has led to Canada and more than 40 countries, really, to impose these travel bans on Britain. What are the vaccine developers saying today about its ability to fight this new mutation?
Well, the German manufacturer BioNTech says it is unclear if its vaccine will protect against this new strain of the coronavirus. What we saw 2 weeks ago was that the UK became the first country in the world to start giving people the Pfizer-BioNTech shot. And now, a week after that, just last week, health officials discovered this new strain of the coronavirus that they say could be as contagious they could be 70% more contagious than the previous strain of the coronavirus. The World Health Organization says laboratory research is now going on to figure out the biological properties of this new strain and whether it would make vaccines ineffective. And here is the CEO of BioNTech speaking about it. Take a listen.
We have now a new variant, the variant which was discovered in UK. And this variant is a little bit different. It has 9 mutations, not only a single mutations. And we don't know at the moment if our vaccine is also able to provide protection against this new variant.
There's no evidence that this new variant is more deadly than the previous one, but this new strain has nonetheless prompted a lot of action from countries, dozens of countries. More than 40 have now put in place, have now banned incoming flights from the UK temporarily. And here in London as well, we've gone into a new level of lockdown, the highest one, Tier 4, that is going to be lasting throughout this period, including on Christmas Day, in which, Asha, people from different households cannot meet up.
And causing, a lot of chaos. And there are also...
Okay, so that's giving you a little bit. Now, anyone who tells you, oh, they're positive, it's going to definitely treat the new variant. It is actually literally BS. They do not know. The variant is so new, it has not been studied. Its properties have not been studied whatsoever. So they don't know if it's going to treat the variant or not. They honestly don't know. Don't have a clue. Okay. Now, with that being said, the vaccine now in America, for example, they said that about 40 million people or so by the end of the year would have the vaccine. where as of the first week of January, they're only at 4.2 million. So they are seriously behind. Why? Because they cannot produce enough vaccine to keep up with demand. They can't. So we've got a major issue here whereby, first of all, the vaccine, which has not even gotten to, it's only gotten to 1/10 of who they said it was going to get to, is causing, we'll say, a significant issue as far as side effects, first of all, and a serious concern for anybody who has any form of allergies. They're not even specific about what kind of allergies. Just if you have allergies, maybe don't take the vaccine, period. Then we're saying, well, there's a whole new variant. So we have no idea if it's going to treat the variant. You might get the vaccine for corona, and somewhere between vaccine 1 and vaccine 2, catch the coronavirus. Because vaccine 1, you have to do 2 doses, remember. Vaccine number 1 does not protect you from catching corona, and it doesn't protect you from getting all of the terrible side effects. Okay. Or you could catch the variant. Or you could do both doses of COVID, think you're fine, and still catch the variant. Okay. But how are they keeping up with supply and demand? Well, they don't have great ideas. But they do not have a good idea about this. Okay, some countries currently are basically giving, instead of reserving 2 doses for everybody, they're giving everybody 1 dose and then just extending the wait time, because you have to wait a significant amount of time between dose 1 and dose 2. So we're just going to extend that wait time a lot longer and wait until we get more vaccine to start, getting people a second time. That's what some countries are doing. But some countries, like the US, right now are discussing whether they should give half doses of the vaccine to people. So instead of getting 2 full doses of the vaccine, dose 1 and dose 2, that's what's been studied under the research and proven 95% effective once you get the second dose, full dose. Let's split it in half and give you half a dose, and then, a month or 2 later, whatever, give you a second half dose, and then hope it's anything. I swear to God, this is the very serious suggestion that they are currently making. So let's listen to this very great scientific explanation of why this is a better choice.
That still has to be up to the states to figure out where they have the need. But let's talk about the portion you can control, and that is the federal supply. If the goal is preservation of life, how can you still justify holding back more than half of the manufactured doses that you have? We just heard from the UK that they're just trying to hit as many people at once. Why not do something like that and space out the time between doses?
Yes. So a scientific answer and then an alternative. I think it's not reasonable when vaccines have been developed with 2 doses given 21 days apart or 28 days given apart, and where we have the data on their safety and their efficacy. And we have after 2 doses, we have no data after 1 dose if we leave people a month, 2 months, 3 months with maybe incomplete immunity, waning immunity, maybe even the wrong kind of immune response induced that is then corrected by the second dose.
They've got 0 immunity.
But hold on. I want you to check what he just said, though, okay? He thinks it's irresponsible, okay? Irresponsible because they developed these vaccines for some countries like mine where we only have 1. America's got 2. Point is, they developed the vaccine. They tested the optimal time between dose 1 and dose 2, right? They tested the optimal dose as well. So he thinks it would be irresponsible to change that time frame, right? So okay, exactly. So if they tested that you take dose 1 on day 1 and dose 2 on day 30, that's how it should be given, because that is the only thing that has been proven effective in the lab, right? It would be irresponsible to do anything else. Cool. Okay, let's keep listening.
Okay.
Right now.
Well, it is, I'm going to tell you the alternative in 1 second. Just let me finish the point I'm making, which is we always said that these vaccines will be developed on the basis of science and all decisions will be made transparently on the basis of data. Changing the decisions made, the choices made, which was to give 2 doses of vaccine. The second dose gives you 10 times higher immune response than the first dose. Without any data, I think would not be responsible. Here is the alternative. We know that for the Moderna vaccine, giving half the dose to people between the age of 18 and 55, 2 doses, half the dose, which means exactly achieving the objective of immunizing double the number of people with the doses we have. We know it induces identical immune response.
We do not know that. No one has tested that. That has not been determined in a research lab. That we do not know that. Okay. The idea, the conditions that have been tested and proven effective are the current dosage levels taken at the current time apart. That is the only thing that was proven effective. Don't you think that if they had tested it and you get identical immunity from half the dose, don't you think they would have made smaller doses so that way they could release more vaccine to the population faster? It's not like they're being paid per the milliliter. You know what I mean? They're being paid per dose. So the logic is astounding. But okay, let's I just wanted to point out how much of a lie that was. But okay.
Right.
To the 100 microgram dose. And therefore, we are in discussion with Moderna and with the FDA. Of course, ultimately, it will be an FDA decision to accelerate injecting half the volume. I think that's a more responsible approach that will be based on facts and data. More people. And of course, we continue to produce more vaccine doses.
Right. Bull. Okay. Even right now, Moderna and the other company, Pfizer, I think it is, they're saying, like, listen, it's going to take us a couple months. A couple months, they were saying just a couple weeks ago. It's going to take us a couple months to test whether half doses will actually give you any immunity at all. And if so, what level of immunity? They were saying this a couple weeks ago. Like, this was not like, oh, well, this was a few months ago and they're not sure. No. They just said this, okay? Within the new year, they have confirmed that. They have no data whatsoever on whether or not half doses, quarter doses, 3/4 doses will work. They have no idea whether or not the spacing being more or less than 30 days apart will work. They don't actually know, but what we do know is there's a good chance that they have some idea. That is to say, like I said, there's a reason they made the dosage amount the amount that it is.
Right.
Right? I mean, you got to think about that. The science doesn't just come up with some random magic number and just pull it out of a hat and go, let's test that one first. That's not the way science works. So that means first, they start with kind of like cells in a little petri dish, right? And they kind of try to see, okay, how much do we need percentage-wise in order for us to kill this virus? And then, maybe they multiply by certain factors and whatever to get an adequate amount. And then they start testing. That's why they couldn't come up with a vaccine in May and then release it in June. They have to test. Oh, we have something that works. Now we just got to figure out the calculations based on weight, height, age, based on this, that, and the next thing. Like, it's a process. This process is heavily rushed. It was rushed to market way too fast over fear-mongering and whatnot. It's already a very unsafe vaccine, okay? Already unsafe, already not tested enough. Now you want to take this untested, unproven vaccine and cut the dosages in half so you can give more people the unproven, untested vaccine.
And then try to feed it to us saying that what I'm saying is the truth.
Right?
Because that's what he's doing.
Right? It blew my mind when I heard this fraud, right, who's an actual doctor, say that. I was just like, Wow, y'all are really, see, this is why people give this vaccine side eyes and wonder if there's microchips or something in it. Why are you trying to sell us on things that you know are patently untrue? Stop it. You know, Black people, I'm not happy we had the Tuskegee thing happen to us, don't get me wrong, but I'm happy we did insofar as the fact that it's making us look at this vaccine and say, hell no, before all of this foolishness. Hell no. No. I said no before. Now y'all want to cut dosages in half and then give it to me? Nope, that don't make any sense.
Got one more for you.
Right? Like, tell me something. Y'all ever only taken half the antibiotics they give you? You ever do that? Does it get rid of the infection? Right. Because it don't kill the infection. You don't even feel better halfway through yet. You might leave off the last day or something, but you don't just stop halfway through and be like, I think that's enough antibiotics. That's how we are creating super bugs by not taking all of the antibiotic. Because if they say 10 days, that's how long you have to take the antibiotic. You can't just cut that in half and be like, well, I feel fine. Like, okay, I'm done. It's like, what?
Woo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he just tried to hand that to you. No, see, we know. Who is we?
Right?
Who is we, dude? Yes. Let me finish what I'm saying and explain it. We know. No. I'm sorry. We don't know nothing. We know you lying.
Right.
We know that.
He's going to use the same rationale for why it is that you shouldn't just take one dose and then wait eternally for a second one. And then try to just clean that up by being like, well, we've tested it. No, you haven't. Where's this research? Who conducted it? When? Tell me. Right?
You say, hey, I'm just doing an interview. You're going to believe me, and that's it. That's it.
Pretty
Ain't
much.
that something?
Sad. Sorry. Music. Sorry. As you would rightfully say, tragic. All right. I'm good.
Yeah, that was a bit much. Yeah. Well, that's it for me. If you got anything else, you can go ahead and share, but that's it for me. I'll wait till next week.
Yeah, I could wait till next week too. We good.
All right, cool in the game. Thank you everyone for joining us. I appreciate your support. As always, we like to bring you some nice content on this channel, and we like to share with you for the year 2021. Thank you for allowing us to be on your smartphones, your television, your computers, desktop, laptop, however you're viewing, however you're listening. I truly appreciate you. And until next week, peace, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.
Hi, this is Char Willie from the JustAskChar Advice channel on YouTube. Join me every Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for an open panel discussion. You'll find myself, Classic Ruby, and others giving our honest opinion, giving several examples, and problem solving. If you have an email for advice, you can send it to JustAskChar@gmail.com. Hope to see you soon.